Oh, I used my Rogaine that they got me for my birthday for the very first time.
Yeah.
Last night.
How's it feel?
I'm just growing massive amounts of hair, dude.
Yeah. Do you actually feel like there's a difference? Or?
No, dude.
No. All right. I don't know.
I think it's like 95% psychological.
Really?
I had a couple who say my hair looked good, but I think that it goes darker during the winter. So I think
that
it's
makes
a joke,
sense.
dude.
Yeah.
It's okay. One day I'll just shave it all off.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Just rock the bald look.
Well, the last episode, we were debating whether or not I should have a beard. Oh, no, that was with Brad.
That was with Brad,
With
yes.
Brad, we debated whether or not I should have a beard if I would lose subscribers, and therefore I should be able to do a write-off for my haircuts. So I determined that if, having hair on the top of my head is important, I could have like a hair transplant and just have that as a write-off. It's important to the business, dude.
I really hope that I never have to go full bald. I mean, eventually, obviously, all males pretty much lose their hair, but like I'm talking like I want to get to like 70 before I have to go full bald.
I think like when I like 55, 60, I think by then TRT and like testosterone will be really dialed in. And like I don't want to get bulky, so I'll wait till I'm older. Yeah. But like I definitely I'm now convinced based on the research I've been doing, especially since Liver King, I've been like digging into the actual research of TRT more. Yeah. And testosterone. I don't like it like for the vanity part of it, but like I definitely think when I'm like 60, I'll probably start taking some stuff. Like you can just like it's super helpful. Yeah. And I wouldn't try to hide it. It's just like, look, it's super like you can enjoy life more. Like you worked all your life making money. Like now you can spend it on something that's gonna make you feel better for like last 20, 30 years of your life. Let's go. Yeah.
Well, you're more versed in this than I am, but would you feel like similar like collagen? Like I feel like we've done more studies on collagen and people are saying that it actually has good benefits. I don't really know like the details of it, but I feel like years ago it was like, oh, it's fake. It doesn't actually have any.
Well, the thing is with TRT, you're talking about hormones. You're talking about hormone replacement, right? Like that's very different in my opinion.
Collagen's a supplement,
vitamin, like dieting. TRT is a whole different ballgame. Yeah. And I don't think most people should do it, by the way. Especially there's guys in their 20s and 30s. It's like, dude, you're doing this to look buff, but like you're probably hurting your liver. You're probably if you do it too much, it's really gonna hurt you. But I think like if you have the money and you're in your 50s and 60s, obviously living a healthy lifestyle, like you can supplement with it and get a little bit. They help you a lot. Yeah. So
Liver King recently, since you brought him up, he's doing his natty journey now.
Oh yeah.
How he's all natural.
Yeah.
Substantially smaller.
Is he really? Oh
yeah. He's like 3-4 weeks into natty. Because it's been like a month since he said.
Really? And he's already shrunk a bunch.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I can tell.
Really?
Yeah. He's doing like weigh-ins and stuff, but I like, I still get like ads and things on Instagram and you see him pop up, right?
So is he trying to say that him on this 30-day thing, he can still do it? Like he still has it? Or is he trying to say like he expects to now look like a regular human being?
No, I think it's a little bit of I still have it. Okay. So he's showing like I can still have this physique to an extent, but he's ultimately still just preaching like his 9 core tenets. Right. Where it's like that is what has always given me a balanced life, and now I'm going to show you how I can live those 9 core tenets and still look pretty dang good.
I think like when he came out with the apology, he was confused. I think he was trying to split the two options. In my mind, he had two options. One, you say, "Yeah, I'm taking it," and kind of like forget you guys kind of thing. Or B, you do what he's done, and that is like, okay, I got caught, I'm sorry, and I'm going to go natural. Yeah. So I felt at the beginning he didn't have a clear direction of which way he was going to go, and then I feel like he kind of like, in the spare of the moment almost, made the decision like, oh, he's going to go natty. Yeah. Which I think is a good move. I think that could serve him well, but he's going to look very human in about 6 months. Yeah. Like if you take the levels of testosterone and hormones that he was taking down to nothing for 6 months, he's going to look very normal in 6 months. Yeah. Even with all the working out that he does, he's going to look totally different.
The couple clips I've seen of him, he just looks less wide.
Oh, yeah.
Like just his shoulders, his arms, it's all just like compressed.
You're 50, your frame is not built for that. Yeah. It's not. Like, yeah, anyways.
I don't know how we got back on Liver King. Mike's taking testosterone for hair growth. No.
Rogaine. Just so everyone is clear, Rogaine is like a foam you put in your hair. I got a gift from the command center giving me Rogaine for my birthday. I'm like, seriously, I'm 27, you're giving me Rogaine for my... Anyways. Yeah. It's great.
Produce the documents. Show us what supplements you're taking. Produce the documents. It's been a minute, but we hit 100 subscribers.
Let's go.
I want to congratulate our subscribers on subscribing to us. So,
Did you hear my first million, the gentleman's agreement?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, gentleman's agreement was fantastic with my first million. Do you want to elaborate on that for the folks?
Because you want this to happen?
Yeah. Well, no.
The gentleman's agreement is that someone does work for you without you ever checking in or making sure that they repay you. There's a gentleman's agreement. For example, you take a penny, leave a penny.
Yep.
Right. Well, in this case, we put in this hard work. You do the editing. We come up with these great ideas and share our knowledge. And we have the gentleman's agreement that everyone watching this clicks the like button and subscribes.
Yes.
And so we just ask that here on the C-Suite Unfiltered podcast that you abide by the rules of the gentleman's agreement and just hit the subscribe button for all the work that we put on this end. We just have a gentleman's agreement that you on the other end are going to do your part.
Click subscribe. And if you really want to get brownie points, share. So we hit 100 subscribers. Well, now we're officially at 125. And I hinted on the last pod.
Dude, 25% stock up. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Last few days.
I said we'd do a 100 subscriber giveaway.
Right.
So what should it
giveaway?
Be? I don't know. What do you think it should be?
I don't know. You could do a StreamYard and have them come in on the podcast with us.
Have them come on the pod if they want. Yeah. It'd definitely be someone we know at this point.
They should, to make it easy on yourself, you should have them record and just send you a Google Drive link of like a question for us, and we just do it live on the show.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to? I was thinking like I could throw them like a gift card or something too.
I don't know. Gift cards are a dime a dozen.
No, all right, fine. Mike doesn't want me to give you guys a gift card. Fun fact.
They can ask a really personal question about you and a really personal question about me on the next episode. And we have to answer it live.
All right, that sounds good.
You can't watch it before.
Okay, that's fair. All right, we're giving away the ability to ask us a very personal question
live without us saying
it.
Seeing it before.
I will contact the winner.
Oh, okay.
I guess. I don't know how YouTube works. You contact my people. Sweet. 100 subscribers. Thanks for subscribing. We appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can provide you some sort of entertainment.
Okay, the goal next week needs to be 200.
200 by next week?
Totally, dude. You're at 25% up in the past few days.
Yeah.
Since the last episode.
Gonna have to do something wild, I guess.
200 episodes, 200
Rogaine applications live on camera. We'll see. I don't know. I want to do like a medium giveaway for 500, but I want to do something big for 1,000.
Okay.
I know it's way out in the way out in the 200
by next week. They know we gotta up our game, bro.
Yeah, all right.
You're wearing a Barstool sports sweater. You gotta represent, bro. 200 subscribers is peanuts.
Well, maybe they'll pick us up. You never know. They got a lot of podcasts, so I had to represent. It was a gift. All right, man. It was a gift. Someone gave it to me. Dude, Command Center. All right, they gave you Rogaine for a gift, and your repayment is a horrible toilet. Yeah. So the bathroom saga continues.
Somehow the bathroom at Command Center is made on the podcast 3 times now.
So I think the people want to know now. Now we need the bathroom saga. Command Center, new office, 1 single-use bathroom, 1 toilet, very low to the ground. Mind you,
it is low to the ground.
If Mike says it's low to the ground,
to me, it's low to the ground. Did I already tell you that?
No, I used it once or twice.
No, I've always thought like, man, if it's low for me, it must be really low for others. Yeah. It's a full-out squatty potty, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's very low to the ground, tiny little sink. The lighting in there is something out of a horror movie. It's horrible. So now it got now the bathroom's messed up again. So what's the plan here?
Well, see, it's not so crazy because my bathroom where I live at down the strip mall is the exact same way.
Yeah.
With like the weird laboratory lighting from the fluorescent light. Yeah. So the solution. So earlier this week or last week, someone brought a scooter to be able to transport themselves down to the bathrooms that are public.
Love that.
So now the going joke in the contest is to see who can get to the bathroom and back on the scooter the fastest. So I think it's 49 seconds.
Nice.
There and back. So if you ever come and you see people just literally flying down to the bathrooms, it's not because they're dying to go to the bathroom. They're just trying to beat the record. Yeah. So I ordered a couple because I was like, someone's going to die here pretty fast, trying to run so fast or like go on their scooter. So I got the 3-wheeled scooters. Yeah. So that'll be the plan. Hopefully they'll hear tomorrow.
Yeah, I like that. That's exciting. Now, I don't want to get too personal. Is that it's 49 seconds down? It's not down, use, and back, right? Because that's
that would be a record.
That's athletic.
Washing of the hands.
Yeah. Then it becomes a sanitary thing. With the handlebars.
Then typing when you get back to the office, like, hey.
Mind if I borrow your phone real quick? Like, no.
So, Yeah, no. We gotta adjust some things in the bathroom. We're getting a new toilet.
Yeah.
Gotta have higher levels of force. The fan didn't work when we moved in.
No.
And it's not good because like the office is relatively quiet. Around the corner is the bathroom, and it's all very hard surfaces like tile, and so noise travels. So fortunately, no one's like super close in terms of their workstation.
Right.
But it's definitely when you're in the bathroom, it's like dead quiet.
Oh yeah.
And you're just really self-aware of like the noise.
And you get like one of those sleep machines that they have for toddlers. Just makes like the ocean waves.
Well, yeah, and just
white
odor.
noise.
When you have 50 people in an office and go in the bathroom, you don't really want when there's someone gonna be using the bathroom right after you.
Yeah.
So we have like 3 things of spray.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I'd be a scooter guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
I like my privacy.
Yeah, the other day I was carrying a ladder on the scooter. It was
Nice.
great. Yeah, I had to go down to the gym, grab a ladder for the lights.
Nice, dude. Well, yeah, bathroom trauma.
Yeah, dude.
Well, it's a weekly update that we're going to have to keep doing on the podcast.
The new segment.
Yeah, Liz said that they were ordering a toilet with more force. Direct quote. It's like, that is an interesting verb to choose, or adjective.
You notice how many people on Connect Team were excited about that?
Very excited about forceful toilets. All right, right on, man.
May the force be with you. Yeah. A whole other concept.
Not going there. Not going there. Cool. Well, for this pod,
dude, we're 12 minutes into this. I don't think we've really talked about much.
Hopefully, maybe the subscriber count will start going down. I don't know if we're gonna get to 200.
Oh, dude.
I did have something of hopefully value to maybe talk about.
Oh, cool.
So I was trying to look for recent articles. This was just something that came across the desk. It was trending or whatever.
The desk of the producer.
The desk of the producer. Yep. Shout out the producer. But a recent UK study, so it's a nonprofit that works with children and literacy in the UK, and I really tried to find like a more updated one from the US, but I couldn't find anything with like really recent data, and this one's from October of last year, so it's like 3 months old, and very interesting data, and it was about role models. So before we get into kind of the article, but like who were some of your role models growing up?
Oh, dude, growing up?
Yeah, and now we could talk. Let's talk growing up. So like pre-18,
Yeah.
right? And then now, kind of who are some of your role models?
Definitely growing up was probably more to do with church because I didn't like have any business entrepreneurial, like mentor type. Like I didn't know one that owned businesses and would like help me with stuff. So, probably like my dad, pastor, like things like that. And then now it'd probably be like more online from a business perspective. But I don't really I don't know. I don't gravitate towards that sort of thing. I kind of like pick and choose from different people now. I do struggle with having like just actually knowing personally people that are like above me, and that's not to say like I'm so great. It's just it's harder, right? So like I really cherish relationships that I have where like the person has had like a $500 million exit or like has some really awesome stuff, because like that's someone that I feel like I'm below, quote unquote, when it comes to like business success, and I can still learn from a lot. Not to say I can't learn from other people. It sounds horrible, but like it's just. So now it's like, it's not easy to find people like that I personally know, not just online, right? So, even like meet Kevin, I'm going to go down there and spend a day with him, but like, it's not because like I agree with him on everything or anything like that. I've grilled him on some stuff that he's done, and he now is coming around to the fact that he needs to have a team and not just be by himself. But like, there's definitely things I can learn from someone like him, right? And so I'm willing to travel, I'm willing to fly, I'm willing to do whatever, like just to spend a little bit of time. So yeah.
On that note, I want to keep talking about role models, but I had an idea. How hard do you think it would be to convince Meet Kevin when he comes up here to get him to do a selfie intro? I'm Meet Kevin, and you're listening to the C-Suite podcast.
Oh yeah, dude, we'll nail it. If you're going to be driving us around on the bus. So for those not listening, he was supposed to come last week.
Yep.
On Wednesday, but they have a crack in the windshield of their brand new jet, and so the windshield from Embraer is like 3 weeks behind or whatever.
The humanity.
So they had to cancel like 2 days before. We had a bus rental. We had a restaurant ready to roll.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun. I was gonna show him 5 houses.
Yeah. But Meet Kevin. He will be coming to Bellingham. I'm gonna see if I can get a selfie video and have an intro to the pod.
He'll knock it out of the park, dude.
I would love that.
Get a Graham Stephan subscribe.
Dude, that'd be fire. Anyways. Guys, those guys I would say are role models to a lot of people, and some of my role models growing up, I think I'm kind of pretty similar to you. I think my dad is probably my biggest role model, right? A veteran of the U.S. Navy, like classic blue collar story, like worked at a refinery, oil refinery. Someone higher up was like, this guy works really hard, and got a promotion, and then ended towards, more the top of the hierarchy, if you will. So he taught me like work ethic, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And then, church, obviously, I have like youth pastors that I think of are youth leaders. I think of guys like Scott, Joe, some of the people that really impacted me. But did you have any like exterior role models growing up? Like maybe like you read a cool biography or you did a book report once, or were there any men or women that you were really like drawn to or inspired by?
I don't know. Like I'd say Gary Vee and Grant were definitely the ones because both of them I followed for years before they actually got big. Like I was reading Gary's Thank You Economy book before he really got big on social. Like he had, I think when I first started following, like 40,000 subscribers, and he was there for a while. Wrote a few books, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. That's what really sparked his social career. But like I was following before that. Same thing with Grant. I followed them a lot. And now like I see a lot of things I don't like about them, but like I definitely appreciate them, what they got, kind of what I got from them. Right. And I kind of look at them as two different, extremes, especially at the beginning. And, I'd say they're like from a social media business standpoint, they're probably the most impactful when I was younger.
Yeah. You don't have like any trying to get people to relate to you, man. Like I'm thinking like I read I did a book report on like General Douglas MacArthur, and I was like, this is just a true American man, dude.
Dude, back to our conversation. He's dead. How could he be a role model for me? I can't follow what he's doing.
That's fair. I also did a book report in 6th grade on Oprah Winfrey. Extremely inspirational. Dude, she grew up in poverty in Chicago. She rose to the top. Oprah's fantastic. I would say she was a role model.
I don't know. I'm not really into that. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sure like you could probably boil it down to something in my background, but like I don't look at other people and be like, I want that, or like I can learn from that at all. Like I literally think when that's why I don't like read books a lot and stuff. Is like I'm like I want to write my own story. Like I don't want to spend time thinking about other people's story. And there's definitely things to learn from other people's story. That's probably what I missed out on. But like, I don't know, man. I'm just busy trying to do my own thing. I don't even remember about Oprah Winfrey. Like she did a good job. Now Oprah's losing her brand power. Yeah. So like, what can I do to make sure I'm doing that? Yeah. I don't know.
I did have someone ask me, actually, they did an introductory call for Augusta. They were just kind of asking about more resources, how they could find out more about Augusta, and like how could they tap into like the network we've created and all sorts of stuff. And one of the things they were like, does Mike ever like share what he's like currently reading? Have you ever thought about doing like a book club?
Dude,
like a Mike Andy's book club?
This is what people need to learn. I do. So if you subscribe to the members club, which is like if you ever bought anything from us, you're probably on it. If you're on the Facebook group, you're on it. You have to join. We send it out like every month. We're going to try to put every 2 weeks, but like today we just sent one out. Nice. And on the book, it was Small Giants, the book I mentioned at Confronts. Cool. Basically how like you don't need to make your business big in order for it to be great. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, well, there you go. So,
what are you reading?
What am I reading currently? Are you talking fiction or nonfiction?
Oh, brother. You and your fiction. The producer has infiltrated your brain.
Dude, fiction's great, man. Storytelling.
We can disagree on this one. It's like dogs, dude. Me and dogs, not flying. And me and fiction, not flying. So, reading in general, not flying.
Right now, fiction I'm reading Tolkien. I'm reading The Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
So, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And nonfiction, I guess I'm still trying to finish Never Finished by David Goggins, which is not an intentional play on words.
You've never finished.
I just haven't finished it. I haven't finished it. Hand up, David Goggins. You'll burst through the door. He's like, get hard. I'm working on it. So, man. Yeah, that's my nonfiction right now.
I got through the first couple of chapters. I got the gist of it. Yeah. I liked the part where he talked to his mom. That was cool. Yeah. Then I think after that, it was done. I kind of got the gist of it. Like, push yourself hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good though. If no one has a role model, start with maybe looking at like Dave Goggins' direction. He'll inspire you and then put you on the track to someone else. But anyways, so this article that I had brought up from the UK, so it's from October of 2022, so only like 3 months ago, and they interviewed a large set of 7 to 18-year-olds. And their key findings in the questions that they asked are as follows. So they said, who do children and young people look up to? 93.4%, I think this is a very encouraging statistic, of children and young people aged 7 to 18 had at least one role model. So that's good. I feel like that's very good. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought it'd be lower.
Yeah.
Now, 67% said it was their mom, 60.2% said it was their dad, and it's a UK article, so it's actually mums. M-U-M-S, mums. But this is one of the ones that really threw me for a loop. More than half of children studied, 52.6%, said that they look up to a YouTuber role model.
Really?
Yeah. While fewer than 2 of 5 looked up to a sibling or a teacher.
40%.
So big shift.
Yeah.
Big shift. Yeah. So I didn't really have any like major points or comments I wanted to make on it. I just thought it was interesting seeing the shift of like education on a YouTube platform. And I think stemming from the conversation we had last week about AI and Common Core and like standard learning procedures, I think this is that shift. Right, that we're seeing online universities. We're seeing, people say, oh, where'd you get all your education? Well, YouTube University, right? I just studied what other people did, and I learned from them. And now, like, 2 out of 5 are saying that it's a sibling or a teacher, which I feel like typically they don't give historical data. I feel like typically siblings or teachers would be much higher than 36%.
Well, you think about the frequency and the intimacy of the communication with a YouTuber, right? Mm-hmm. So frequency, they're watching them probably every day. Mm-hmm. They're constantly looking forward to the next dopamine hit that comes when the next video drops. They can wear merch from them. They can represent their brand.
That's cool.
They can represent their role model. They can support their role model. They can also, the intimacy of the conversation and the communication. So like, think about when you're watching the YouTube video. It's like in the bathroom. It's like in your bedroom before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's alone. So that intimacy level is not equated in even a teacher relationship or a brother-sister relationship, mm-hmm. right? So I think it's very powerful. Yeah. And that's why I just underestimate, I think, just how much impact a social media person can have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just easier to quantify when they start a business, and it's like, oh, wow, like they can move product. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, yeah, because you got, millions of people watching what they're doing every single day.
Yeah. I think the flip side of that coin is that it makes it very scary. Have 52, over half of the youth, at least in the UK, surveyed. And I would say America's probably pretty darn similar, if not higher.
Well, I think if you would have polled 30, 40 years ago, it'd just be TV. Yeah. Right? It's different media, mm-hmm. right? It's just what people look forward to. Like back in the day, everyone ran home to go watch TV. If you look back 67 years ago, so the TV would have been a big deal. Mm-hmm. Well, now everyone's watching in their pocket, right? You're not getting 14, 15-year-olds like looking for the next TV episode release on cable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was almost like scary because there's so many horrible people on YouTube and horrible people in this world. They're snake oil salesmen, if you will. Like the reason you demonetized ads on your YouTube because you were like, I don't want all these fake promises, get rich quick schemes on my YouTube. So I don't want my audience to see that. Like just in the context of this conversation, because I feel that I have a better grounds to stand on as their role model, and I don't want them to be swayed by these potential would-be role models. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of how you feel about that?
Yeah. Like, I would love to have had someone like me that was, say, 10 years older than me when I was 18, mm-hmm. that could be like, I can do that, and I can see what they're doing works, and it's not about, like, the flash and the glamour, but, like, actually day-to-day, like, what gets done. So I would like to think that I would want to be a role model. Like, it's definitely inspirational. Like, something motivates me is when I have conferences or whatever, and there's 14, 15, 16-year-olds coming out to me, and, like, they're saying that I'm their father figure. It's like, oh, bro, take it easy. Yeah. I've never met you in my whole life. Chill. But, like, to them, it's real. Yeah. Right? And so that's even like at conference, we were talking about afterwards, like, what's the protocol for, like, breaking someone off from talking to me mm-hmm. when they're taking time? There's a bunch of people waiting. It's like, well, look, like, there are some people that like they really do want to talk to me, and like this is their chance to show that they appreciate their role model, mm-hmm. right? And regardless of how little it means to me, because I don't know who they are, that's not how they feel about mm-hmm. it, right? So I feel pretty obligated to make sure that like I reciprocate the level of appreciation they have, and like I'm not like, oh yeah, here, take a picture, leave. Like, I want to listen, mm-hmm. and if they've spent hundreds of hours watching me and they do feel like I'm a role model, and it's something that they want to become. Like, I don't want to be a jerk for the 5 seconds I got to be with them, right? So
it's your reverse gentleman's agreement. In a way, I feel like when you meet someone that says like, "Hey, I've watched you for a long time," or "Hey, I've subbed to the content," or "Hey, I use one of your products," it's kind of a reverse gentleman's agreement. Yeah. Like, I know it's a joke and play on words, but I really think I've seen that, and you genuinely care about them. You try to like put only your focus on them. Like, you're not looking around, you're not distracted. I know your phone's going off like crazy in your pocket. Like, you're not listening to what me or Liz are saying. You're just like fully locked in on that person, showing them like, I appreciate you. I hope that I've made an impact in your life for the better. And if there's anything I can do for you, like you always say that too. I love that you always wrap up when you meet someone in person, one of your subscribers, you'll say, you know, like, "Hey, if there's anything I can do for you, reach out, brother." And like you almost always say that. And I think it just shows that you care and you are trying to help them.
I kind of start to regret it sometimes because if you say it, like, I really feel like then I have to do it. And so, like, I really do try to respond. If anyone buys anything from me on any platform, like, I still send them a personal video.
Yeah.
Right? Like, those are not made up. Those are me usually in the middle of the night making those videos for people. And so it's great. The problem is, to them, that's the one video they get from a creator. And there's a big connection there.
Yeah.
To me, I don't remember their name and their face. I don't even see their face. I don't got a video of them. I just have on a spread, like, you know,
see a name.
checkout, a name. And I'm using that name based on what they purchased. And I say, thank you. And I appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you next time. Hope you're able to make it to Summit. Like, and then to them, like, that's a different level, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it's a great feeling to have, you know, be a role model. I just, you know, I make sure, I really hope that it doesn't ever get to my head. I don't think it will, because like I have it pretty good in check, but I just see so consistently people like really blow up and then it just like goes directly to their head, or they just treat people around them like dirt. I don't want to do that. So that's like my biggest fear probably. Yeah. I'm not worried about like the money side, because I'm very confident I won't spend my money differently. But very concerned about like ever one day treating people less than. And so I just want to guard against that like as much as I can.
Yeah. I think you sending the videos is really cool. Like, I genuinely think that is a really cool bonus, because I have supported some content creators and you never hear anything. Like, you might comment on their stuff on a regular basis. You might even send them a donation. You might buy their merch or whatever. Like, I've bought some, you know, subscribers merch, and like, I mean, right here, like, this is, I mean, you know, like, right.
Come on, hit him up. Come on, bro. Show some love.
Barstool, hit me up. Memes, someone, anyone on the Barstool team, Gaz. Just send it. But like, I've bought merch, and like, so this was a gift, but I've like bought the merch. I've supported. I comment on stuff I like. I share, right? And I think if I got that video, it would just make me buy in so much harder to that brand and that person and that content creator. Like,
it's not really the goal. Like, my thing is...
Yeah, I'm not saying that's your goal. I'm just saying, for me as a consumer, to give you the outside perspective, as a consumer of your content, if we didn't know each other and I didn't work for you, and I stumbled across your content, like, I would be thrilled that I got a video from you. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad someone gets it that makes their day. You know, I just feel like if someone's going to invest into the products that I make and you know, trust me with their business and their livelihood, that like I kind of owe them a minute. It takes me 2 minutes basically to make a video personalized for them. And yeah, like sometimes it's not fun. Like, I have 3 days if they pile up on, there's like 30 of them I have to make, and it's 2 a.m. Like, it's not fun to make videos at 2 a.m. for 30 different people. It's basically an hour of talking. Like, but you know, one day I won't be able to do it. And so I think, cool. You know, if I can kind of quote unquote reward, it sounds so stupid because it's me, but like, reward the people that, you know, at the beginning I could do it for, the, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever it is, you know, when there's millions, it'll be like, they'll treasure that a little bit, you know, and that's like what I can give them, because I can't be like, hey, the first 1,000 subscribers, I want to like give you stuff. Like, same thing with the franchisees. Like, you know, the first ones have my phone number. Like, I know it's not like anything amazing, but like down the road, that'll be something they'll be able to brag about a little bit, right? That they were the first ones at Augusta, the first 10. Like, I want that to be bragging rights. And so, yeah.
Yeah. I had an intro call with someone that wants to buy like right next to an established territory, and it's a big radius with a lot of people, and they're like, "Why is it so big?" And I was like, "Well,
the first one."
I was like, "You get some benefits."
Yeah, the first 10.
I was like, "Hey, I said honestly, this is what I said on the call. I said honestly, we were a startup, and the earlier ones who bought into our startup got better benefits."
Which state?
It was not a state. It was up in Canada, up north, the Great North.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Up north there.
Up north there.
Up north there. At the Canucks, eh? Sorry. So role models. I see no red flags in you as a role model. But what would you tell people to look for in red flags? Is it always asking for the sale? Like, is it like being not genuine when maybe they're on someone else's platform or not on someone else's content? Like, what are some red flags that you pick up on?
Well, I don't think there's any wrong answer because, like, if you want to be the best role model in the world, your role model could be a quote unquote bad person.
That's fair,
right? So I think it's just like what do you aspire to be? That's probably who your role model is going to be. For me personally, I hate pride because I actually see it in myself sometimes, and I hate it, hate it. So I try my best to push against it. That's like partly why the way I live, like financially, I don't think I've ever said this, but like partly the way I live financially is like because like I never want to feed it, right? Because as soon as you get on the treadmill, of like if you start buying things for the pride's sake, like it is a treadmill. You can easily just keep going and going and just keep feeding the beast, right? So like I know, like, because even though I don't feel like I'm a very proud person, I just consistently see it happen with people that I like or I have followed over time that I'm like, they started off really good. I really enjoy them. And then just like kind of, money kind of wrecked it for them. And I just never want to do that as long as I possibly can. And so for me personally, I like pride is a big deal.
Yeah.
That's why like Gary Vee and Grant, I both kind of checked out on. They're just so proud. Like they're so stuck on themselves. And it's like, I never want to be that. And so that's when I like personally kind of start checking out of their content and that sort of thing. Like I haven't watched anything of theirs. Yeah. Like now I just get annoyed. Like it's like no one cares. Like you're not great. You're not that special, right? Yeah. Stop talking about yourself so much. Like talk about your audience, what can help them. And so that just annoys me. That's probably my giveaway for like a role model is like how much you talk about yourself versus other people is a big deal for me.
Yeah.
So that's why I get confident. I try not to talk a lot about our businesses, like what I'm doing. Like I just don't think it's bringing any value to other people besides like making me look good. But like that's not helping anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I look at, how they treat people. Yeah. Right. And that's hard to get if it's all digital, right? If your relationship with your role model is all digital, it's extremely hard to see how they treat people. But I would say, if they have a big following, they'll probably go on other people's podcasts. They'll get interviewed to see how they interact with people, how they treat them, how they treat, like the producer on the podcast.
Their family.
How they
if you get to see how they treat their family, like that's why I respect Gary actually a lot.
Yeah.
His family relationships is like pretty strong. I disrespect him when it comes to the way he treats people on podcasts, like cutting them off all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if, like, my brain kind of works, like, very quickly like his. But, like, sometimes you just shut up and let people finish.
Yeah.
And let them finish their thought and not interrupt. Like, I'm not very good at it. I'm still improving, but I used to be really bad at it. Yeah. Like, where I'm thinking about what I'm going to say before they finish. And so now, like, I've just tried to slow down, not so much how fast I talk, but, like, just let them finish. Like, yes, I know what you're going to say, but, like, shut up.
Yeah.
It's rude.
It's not a one-way conversation.
Yeah, it's like that annoys me about him. Like back to your point of like treating others, but like his family on point, really respect that. Even just fan interaction, I've learned a lot from him. Like the way he communicates during fan interaction is actually how I try to emulate.
Yeah. Oh, I've noticed that 100%.
Yeah. The way he's just like locked in on them. There's not a lot of distractions. I don't like how he talks about himself so much again, but like typically he's very in tune with the person and not like the camera or like other people. Just like I'm locked in. So there's definitely pieces. That's why like for me, role models, like you just bits and pieces from people, right? But yeah, 100% how you treat people is very important.
Yeah. Like one just still like a shout out, if you will, would be Sean Spencer.
Yeah.
Like he came to our conference and I like, out of the corner of your eye, you see who's hanging out with who's mingling. And like he was always smiling on his face, mingling, talking to people. And I know he wasn't there as a speaker. He was as an attendee. So he could have just sat in a corner and done his own thing. But he was like mingling. He was hanging out with people. He was taking pictures with people. He was smiling, interacting with his wife, Savannah. She was mingling with everyone. And I was like, they just seem like great people because they're genuine. They're willing to have conversations with folks. Like they're not acting like they're above anyone because they're YouTubers and they're special or anything. They've never said that. That's me like quoting. But I just think like how they treat people, how you interact with others. And
100%.
yeah, you and Gary are very similar in that regard. And I respect that. So now today you had an interesting meeting that maybe you can't share too much with us, but we are the Unfiltered podcast, if you will. C-Suite Unfiltered. Like and subscribe.
Hey, C-suite. There you go.
Yeah.
The CEO.
Yeah. You talked to a CEO today. This is a perfect topic.
Yeah.
And the CEO was of the one and only Service Autopilot.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to say the name of the company.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That's fine.
The CEO was of an established CRM.
That we currently use.
As
an acronym of 2 letters.
I got it. Anyways. So, who you talked to the CEO, and how'd that go?
I went good. Yeah, we basically, obviously we've launched Copilot, which is a competing product. And so they just want to kind of get on the same page because we do use their product also. So just wanted to get on the same page. So they have to be careful what they say because, I could use my social presence to really wreck them. I got to be careful because they are still a partner of our franchisees and we need to make sure that they're taken care of. And they've actually improved doing that since they knew we were coming out with Copilot. And so I appreciate that. So it was very good. We're going to compete together and we're going to good competition. And we both feel like competition is friendly. And that's about all I can say. Yeah. I shared my concerns, thoughts, the history of why I started Copilot and the things that I've told them in the past that we're not listening to and why I had to take action. And I was just brutally honest about what I thought was right and wrong about what's going on at their company. And I think it ended good.
Yeah.
Like, shake hands, we respect each other as competitors and walk away.
Right.
So
cool. Yeah. I don't want to dig too aggressively.
Ask more questions.
it's just I think it's an interesting spot. I think a lot of people I think maybe to bring it to a more relevant level or easier to understand level would be, let's just say, because probably a lot of people that subscribe are in the lawn care industry, right? That's kind of the brand. Like you had an all-star employee and they're like, well, I think I'm going to go start my own lawn care company. Do you feel like it's kind of like that where like they were the owner and then you're like
I wouldn't say employee because I wasn't like employed by them.
Right.
But I would say something like a vendor, right? So it'd be like, for example, your landscape supplier now going and doing services.
Yep.
That's kind of what it would be like. You kind of still need the supplier.
Right.
But now they're competing with you.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the conversation. It's a little strange. Yeah. So it was good though. They're making improvements over there. And there's several companies that have really kicked things into high gear and I would like to take the blame for it, right? So I'm thrilled whatever improvements can come our way for the home service industry, and if that means me just jumping into the ring and causing a little bit of disturbance, so people up their game, start developing better products and improving service. And I was just brutally honest. Yep. They were really brutally honest to me. I was really brutally honest back. So it was great.
Yeah. Where can you speculate, or did they share like what's their 5-10 year goal? Or are you willing to publicly speculate?
Well, I have. You want me to speculate?
No, I would never.
I have pretty good ideas. But there's also people that have left the company that have shared a lot of stuff with me. So I kind of know where things are going. But more importantly, regardless of that, we need to control with Augusta Lawn Care. We're just not going to be at the whim of anything, and the CRM is extremely important. And we don't allow someone to change the logo of Augusta. I'm not going to let them change another very important part, which is our CRM. And I don't want those keys in anyone else's hands. And I personally think that we'll push the envelope for the home service industry so that these other CRMs that have gone a little bit lax will research and development and support will improve when they start to see their numbers dwindle, which I don't think is going to be for another 12 or 24 months. So I've been very consistently saying there's certain people that should stick with Service Autopilot. There's certain people that should stick with LMN, Aspire, etc. But I think in 24 months, like they're going to have to really start to pay attention. And I'm thrilled that they'll be copying what we're doing. And I just told them today, I said, look, it's kind of a dig because they're employees, right? The people I'm talking to, they're CEOs of a company that's a massive, massive company. People don't understand just how big the companies are that are involved. But they're employees. So they don't have the control that I had to. But I said, I don't care about money. And so without saying it, what I was saying is like, I have nothing to lose and I'm going to be a tough competitor to beat.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to flex on them. But like that's ultimately what it comes down to. I'm not trying to suffice a venture capital board or the stock market or anything like that. I'm trying to build the best product, and that's all that's in my head.
Yeah.
And so I don't think they can compete with me just on that premise. Like, we will make mistakes. We won't have as much experience. I won't have as much capital, but like, they cannot compete with the fact that I am not in it for any other reason but to help the owner and the user. That's it. And so I just think they're going to have a hard time competing with that. It's going to take us a while to catch up on what they've built over decades. But give me 24 months, and that will align exactly with 5 years inside of Augusta. And I said, when we start Augusta, give me 5 years until it becomes painfully obvious that we have a unique advantage against the rest of the market. And when we have that and everything else we've built, and we're completely vertically integrated at Augusta, and we start a bank, like, I'm sorry, like, you should join Augusta Lawn Care. And it's not a matter of because I'm about it. It's just like, it makes the most sense financially, and you kind of got to be a little bit out of it to think otherwise. And it's not to say, push anyone down, but like, we're just going to dominate, dude. Yeah. Sorry. Like,
we're just getting after it.
We're going to crush it, dude.
Oh, I love it. I love the tenacity.
So
I like when you show it.
I just don't think anyone can compete with us that has ulterior motives of needing to suffice a board, need to suffice venture capital or angel investors or Wall Street. They're trying to go on the wall and go take company public. Like, you're not going to be able to beat me because I will outspend you. I don't need the margin. I don't need to suffice anyone else. I'm not doing anything for show and slide decks and presentations. I'm doing this to help the owners. And that is the gauge of our success, not how well our stock price is doing. So I'll make a horrible CEO when we go public, if it's not in like 20 years, because like, I will literally just tell people up front, like, if you buy in this company, don't think I'm going to look at that stock price ever and make a decision. That's how I'll be. So like, it'll be one of those stocks where like, when I leave, the stock will go up.
Yeah.
Like if I got hit by a bus, I'll be like, yes. Because like, I'll just be very clear and upfront if we go public down the road that like, I am not looking at stock price as a determination of whether or not we're successful. And so if you are not on board for that, like, please do not invest. That's how I'll operate.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing, though, is that you don't have to appease anyone with stock price because you aren't backed by private equity, venture capital, any of that stuff. No. Right, going public will be a decision that you make when you're ready to make that decision. So gotcha. What is let's speculate some more. What is Augusta's value going to be, or the vertically integrated brand, whatever, Mike Andy's brands.
That's too hard. That's
Yum brands, whatever, all these different brands.
It's going to be too hard to speculate. That's 20 years from now. In my mind, it has to be at least $1 billion to even think about going public.
Private, get to $1 billion in total worth.
Just like, value what you could get. Say a 10x multiple. I would not be happy with $1 billion, to be honest with you. Yeah. So it's not about the number in terms of, like, it's not gonna, like, it's just the game. I love the game. Yeah. And if that's gonna be the benchmark of the game, like, I'm gonna crush the benchmark. So like, I'm not gonna go public because we need money. Like, I don't think we'll ever need the money. It'll be a matter of like, it's a good point to liquidate. I want to reward the people who've been on the team for that long. I want to have like, because we're not gonna ever have like crazy luxury and like high fluting tooting jobs and stuff like that where people are making $1 million as an executive. Like, that'll never happen. But if I can liquidate using stock options for people, that'd be super cool in 20 years. And then it'd be super cool to see like Liz retire, like super ultra wealthy. Like, that's super cool. Like, that's important to me. Yeah. And her not have to work anymore. And like, in 20 years, if you wanted to go do something else, it's like, hey, look, let have a place for you to go. And I want like the first 10 franchisees, don't tell them, but like, I want to make them super wealthy during an IPO. So like, there's definitely some like, things I want to cash in on. Yeah. And so those will be super beneficial to them. And I would get a lot of pride out of seeing them win. Yeah. So yeah, I would personally like it to be over 10 billion in terms of when we go, but like that's going to require a lot of vertical integration. The bank will be important. The software will be very important. And I think the reason partly taking a public offering is giving it a little bit of difference for myself. I think it'll do better because so many people are not going to join Augusta, or they're not going to join a lot of what we do because I'm involved and because Augusta's involved. So when it goes public, it somewhat becomes like artificial. Like, people don't think about Domino's and they're like, oh, like they're trying to take over the pizza brand. Like, they're trying to take over the industry. People think about Augusta and they think like we're against. And like, we're trying to like tear our competition apart. It's like, it to one extent, going public would like somewhat sterilize that. Where it's like, is it a good business opportunity? Is it great return on capital? You deploy money, right? And so there's a pros and cons of both of those different sort of philosophies when it comes to a business's culture. And I think we're definitely right now, like we're the scrappy, we're the dog, we're hungry. But eventually that has to change. And it doesn't, I don't mean like that mentality, but you can't grow to a certain size if the whole public persona is like you're this disruptor in the space. You eventually need to become the establishment and then dominate. And like you buy out companies and you really do take over if you want to have real impact. So yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I loved it, dude. I could listen to that all day. Yeah, I think disruptors too. At a certain point, I heard this once in like a show or a movie, and it was this guy, like the fictional character, ultra wealthy, and he goes, "Yeah, capital plus execution equals success. Business is boring now." And that like line really stuck with me. I was like, man, I can't imagine like getting to that point. And like that's because we're in that mentality of like we're scrappy, we're the underdog, we're the disruptors.
Yeah, but see, even like there's a thing like in my mind, you just keep increasing. Like kind of like we talked about on the mastermind this morning with the franchisees about like increasing the weight.
Right.
Like if you kept doing the same weight, it would seem easier. Right. And everyone's like, oh, it's just in time, it'll be easier. Yeah, if you keep doing the same weight. But like there's not a shot in the world I'm ever going to be one day like, oh, we'll just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I told someone recently that kind of was, pushing back on how fast we move. And one of the team members that's really awesome, but like was pushing back. And I said, like, look, this will never be an organization till the day I die that is like, we do the same thing. And like everything's super perfect and SOPs for every little thing. It's all nailed down. I said, I would rather die than work here if that's the case. So if you want to play like that, you need to leave. Like just in all honesty, because it'll never be that. So like in one regard, yes. On the flip side, like, the day I retire is when, like, the moment we switch to, like, oh, like, we're established and we're like, fine. And, like, we're just going to buy out other people and do, like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
So you just move the goalpost, right? And you just keep moving it up and making it harder and moving the weight higher to keep growing the muscle, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's what happens when you, like, if you find a real gym rat, they're not doing it because they look good. They're not flexing in the mirror. They simply just want to lift heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like the numbers are important to them, right? And that's like where I'm at. Like, I don't really care. Like at this point, I'm not changing my lifestyle. And like when I got to that point where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to buy anything new. More money isn't going to like change the way I live at all.
Yeah.
Well, then the only thing I care about is like building the businesses.
Yeah.
And so, and seeing other people succeed, and I want them to win. So that's like super cool to me. Yeah. So. Back to role models. Like that's what I want the kid coming up to me and being like, I see it. Like he said at a conference, he talked to a few people and said like, I need to talk to Mike. Like what can I do to talk to Mike? And then I came out the last night and was like, dude, like I don't have a dad. And, you're like my dad figure. Like I watch you all the time. And I rewatch stuff and I pray for you every night. And I'm like, dude, like that's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's awesome. I love that. Light transition, just ever so slightly. Also on the day of recording, just to, shout out, happy birthday, Liz, Chief Operations Officer at Augusta.
Let's go, 24.
Pretty cool. She's in the C-suite, so I'm not even in the C-suite. I'm a fraud, honestly. I think that's actually hilarious. I thought of that the other day. But anyway.
Well, she's kind of like operations manager. Somehow it's morphed into COO.
Yeah.
We don't really
Should I just give myself a title?
You did. You give franchise business consultant.
You gave that to me. I didn't take that.
Is that on the
yeah, you just told me that was my title. I was like, okay. I don't care. I'm just like,
so funny. The guy came into command center the other day getting an interview with Liz. Yeah. And she said that he was like, hey, like, so what's my title going to be?
Yeah.
She's like, well, like, we don't really have like a hierarchy. Like, we just have team members. He's like, well, like, what's my title if like I'm telling my buddies like at a party? She's like, well, when we call customers and they're like really difficult, we'll tell them that we're the office manager to like make sure that the buck stops with us and doesn't have to go to the owner. He's like, so can I say I'm the office manager? She's like, yeah, you can say the office manager.
Nice. Love it. So anyways, happy birthday, Liz.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to give her a shout out. Yeah. Don't forget to text her. I had like 3 people remind me. I'm like, I'm not going to forget, but I really appreciate the reminders.
Well, we forgot Marcus's that one time.
Marcus was one of the people. Marcus was, that made me feel bad. So, ending with our segment, our continuing segment, because this is the second time we've done it, so now it counts as a recurring segment, is not financial advice.
Oh, yes.
So, Mike, do you have any not financial advice for
You
the
probably
people?
have something, so you say it, because I haven't thought of that.
here's my not financial advice. Maybe we'll talk about this guy next time because we got a good pod here. But I thought if the role models topic was a dud, I'd bring up Andrew Tate.
Oh, yeah?
But maybe we'll dive into him next time. So here's my not financial advice. Okay. Don't listen to Andrew Tate. Just period. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Okay, my non-financial advice, or what's it called?
Not financial advice.
Okay, so my not financial advice is a key piece of style for the gentleman out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The guy who always wears the grossest yellow.
Yeah.
Giving us style tips.
See, I do that for branding.
Yeah, no. The rest of your style is fantastic, but dude, like that's why I do a costume change for the pod most days. I'm like,
I gotta stay consistent with my branding, bro.
No, I love it. See, my brand is like usually baseball hats and hoodies. Like that's all what I wear outside of work. So
okay, so the style is you gotta make sure that your belt, shoes, and watch match.
Yep.
So white, that's typically what I like to do.
Yep.
If you're gonna match up with the blacks, then your socks should match your pants, right? So if you're gonna wear black pants, you should wear black socks, technically speaking. Or you can sometimes, if you really want to be bold, you match your socks with your pants, or sorry, your socks with your shoes. Yeah. It's like white shoes, white socks, and then black pants. Yeah. But yeah, belt and shoes definitely
always.
If you can match up with a watch, you win brownie points. So
yeah, white belt,
white shoes, white watch.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic. Get a reversible belt too. If you can't afford a lot of belts, get a nice reversible brown.
These are clutch. These work for everything. You can wear these. You can take my belt off on the podcast.
It's getting weird. Role models.
These are great. Josh got me hooked on these years ago.
Oh yeah. Like clasp.
Yeah, they clasp, but they're the cloth ones. They work well in like all scenarios.
Yeah.
So, like khakis for work. I've worn them with dress pants. Yeah. I've worn them out in the field, and I have 2 of them. And you can just cut them to length.
Yeah, no, those are great.
And you can throw them in the wash.
I will push back on one of I think your piece of advice, your not financial advice, is fantastic. This is the thing. It's not the not financial advice is not up for debate because it's
not financial advice.
It's subjective to each of us giving advice. Well, mine's not subjective. Please don't listen to Andrew Tate. Just oh my gosh. If you have time and you want to lose some brain cells, watch. Who was it? Vice Media did a documentary on him right before he got arrested in Romania. Yeah. It's whatever you think about Vice, put that aside. Phenomenal little documentary. It's almost a mockumentary. You're like, this person is not real. But anyways, socks. I'm a bold sock guy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I get weird with the socks. I agree with everything you said, but socks, unless it's black tie, which I've never been anything black tie, so I can't even speak on it. But unless it's black tie, have fun with the socks. I like orange socks, patterned socks.
So I think if you're going to a black tie event, that's the time to have the flair on the socks.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're going to do like just the office or like working out in the field, like really you're going to have pink socks, like chill out, dude. But if you have like black pants, black shoes, black all, and then you have like a red watch with red socks, dude. Pops.
I don't mean that guy. Dude. You just described Mr. Wonderful. Like 100%.
Like, yeah.
He always has that red watch band.
If you can keep everything simple, but then let the socks pop, I agree. Dude, that's fire.
How do you feel about guys with earrings?
I'm not a huge earring person.
Yeah.
And just in general.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like judge anyone's character based on it. I'm just not a huge earring.
No, I know you wouldn't. Yeah, many people told me I should get earrings. Now, I definitely would never now.
If someone has a fake earring, like fake diamond earring, and I knew it was fake, tells me a little bit of something about them.
That's fair.
But I don't know. I just don't think. I'm just not. I don't know. I can't even imagine like the thought process of like having to deal with it every day, like sleeping on it. Like I wouldn't want that.
Just take them out.
Oh, but then you gotta take them out every day. You extrapolate that over the course of your lifetime. You just wasted weeks of your life.
Man, this guy. All right, that's the pod. Like and subscribe. Thank you all.
Gentleman's agreement. Don't forget it.